is a Bramble Jam podcast.
Welcome to Girls Gone Hallmark, a Hallmark review podcast. I'm Megan, and I'm a longtime Hallmark fan.
I'm Wendy. I'm a former Hallmark hater.
On today's episode, we're back with our listener mailbag episode for February. Thanks to everyone who sent in your listener emails and voicemails. The best way to reach us is via email at hello@girlsgonehallmark.com. But you can also use our voicemail number, which is 949-329-8090. If you want to be featured on a future listener mailbag episode, we'd love to hear from you. And we say it every single time. No one answers that phone. Straight to voicemail.
Straight to voicemail. And if you record it and you're like, oh my God, I hated everything I record, call back and say, hey guys, don't play that. Or here's my thought again, or whatever. It's totally fine. It's between you and I.
Take two.
Hey, if you like us, Megan and Wendy, we would love for you to come join us on Patreon. Patreon is a paid platform that keeps the lights on over here. Mm-hmm. We use that subscription money to pay for other things to make this project go. We would love to have you. Patreon.com/Megan and Wendy. We do 4 new episodes a month there for $5. This month was a real doozy. Like, we've recorded half of them already.
Yeah, and we are earning every bit of that money over there with the content we're dropping. Let me tell you.
How long was that episode that you dropped today?
It was, I edited it a little bit, so it was 41 minutes.
Wow.
It was 50 to start.
That's crazy.
I did a little snipping. That's all my stuff. I get wordy.
You do?
Yes.
You know what is so funny too? Like, I'm curious from the listeners if they can tell when we record together versus remotely.
Ooh.
You and I believe there's a different dynamic when we are sitting across the kitchen table from each other.
I
agree with that. I think we make better episodes when we do that.
Me too.
Sometimes stuff happens and we have to record remotely. But my whole point was that Patreon episode that we dropped today, we are in person together, and I just felt like you and I just were like, we had all this pent up stuff and we just let it fly.
It's a release, man. It is a release. So you can give that a listen, patreon.com/Megan and Wendy. And your first week over there is free. You get a 7-day free trial. So you can dig into all the back content over there and see if that's something you want to stick around for future months. Are you ready to talk listener mailbag?
I am.
Up top, we have an email from Allison in regards to Ripple and our coverage. She says, was there a rating on Ripple? I assume it was a 5. I was hoping to hear one at the end. She goes on to say, this one was a hard one with reviews to listen to. I finished the series weeks ago and it was hard to remember all the details. Maybe if it wasn't at Christmas, 2 shows a week would have made sense. So let's start by rating Ripple.
It was a 5-star.
Absolutely. 5-star series for me.
5-star series. I agree.
Now let's talk the BTS of recapping a series like this.
Yeah, go ahead.
We kind of gets in the weeds, right? This series dropped all at once, all 8 episodes. Obviously, we're not going to drop 8 episodes of reviews in a row. It just doesn't time-wise make sense. It doesn't work that way with our time.
It would be impossible to watch 8 episodes and then record 8 episodes. Like, there are not enough hours in the day.
No, it would have been, especially, she's correct, during Christmas. I definitely hear you about the challenge of the average viewer did binge this. They weren't watching it weekly as we're reviewing it weekly. We do have an email down the line in this episode where a listener is suggesting some shows that have come out because we have kind of expanded some of our reviews. And that also gets into the same situation of like, those have already dropped. How does that work in terms of reviews? Are people really going to go back and listen? That's something that we have to think about. And when we're thinking about adding other series, I think that we probably will lean more on series that are dropping episodically than those that are dropping all at once.
Right.
For the listening experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because it's Yeah. No, because, there is a part of me that really wants to do other things. Like the way that I equate it, like I'm like, oh man, we should review The Pit because it comes out episodically,
Yes.
right? Week to week. Obviously, we're not going to go back and do that now because this is season 2 and like we're just not going to pick that up. Megan's raising her eyebrows.
You mean yesterday you suggested we review The West Wing, which is 156 episodes.
Yes, and so when then you have that, right? We talk on Patreon a lot. One of my favorite podcasts is Nobody's Listening, right, with Andy and Elizabeth, and I had listened to an episode during the holiday time, maybe, and they were joking about reviewing shows, and Andy goes, I can't remember what show it was, but it was a show that aired many, 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 many years, like 2016, like 10 years ago. And he's like, oh yeah, because so many people are looking for reviews on a show that aired 10 years ago. And I was like, well, he has a point. We tried to do that.
Last to the party
With a reality TV show that aired the first season many, many years ago. Nobody's looking for that content today.
Yeah.
So when I think about The West Wing, I'm like, well, maybe there's people looking for that content today because that show has such a marked moment in pop culture history.
Yeah, those wing nuts are crazy.
Oh, they have a name?
Yeah.
Wow. So it's like a project by project basis, I feel like. Mm-hmm. And when
I wish we were reviewing The Pit.
I know.
It's too late, but I do wish we were doing it.
When Meg and I look at our calendar for like the month ahead when we're planning, because this isn't just like a fly by the seat of your pants. We do actually content plan.
Of course.
And we'll look ahead and we'll see what's dropping on Netflix. What can we review over there? How does it work with our schedule and maybe our listeners' schedule and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of logistics going into it.
Indeed.
And going back, I do wish we could have maybe watched all of Ripple and just had one review for it. But or two, a summary of it. But then I feel like that doesn't give it justice to the project. You can't get deep into the episode. You can't give like the writers or the directors or the actors like their flowers that they deserve for like,
I'm glad we did it that way, but I do recognize the challenge of listening to the reviews that way as a binging viewer.
Yeah. Our next email is from Francisco regarding the January movies. He says, hey, Megan and Wendy, I did enjoy the movies this month. Granted, I watched 2. I don't know when this is dated. This may have come in prior to Missing the Boat.
It did.
I'm a big fan of Lacey and thought Lost in Paradise was really good. I did like the premise and thought the chemistry was great. I think her movies are good 9 out of 10 times. And this was one such movie. The setting was beautiful. And honestly, I was surprised by the pirates that were there. I, of course, wasn't expecting the resort either. I have to say, as a dog lover, when he ran away, I kept thinking, what about Gianni? Us too, Francisco. Also, I agree with Wendy. Hey, I love when Lacey does comedic work. Can I just pause there for a second? Because Francisco goes on, he's going to talk about something else that isn't related to this movie. I want to talk about Lacey for a second. Dropped our review of My Secret Valentine yesterday.
Yeah.
Starring Lacey Chabert and Andrew Walker. That is not a role I like her in. I like the comedic.
Me too.
Lacey Chabert. I think that's what I prefer.
Sure, me too.
Haul Out the Halloween, she was super funny.
Yeah.
And I remember watching that, laughing out loud and being like, that's the roles I want to see her in. Lost in Paradise was in the same vein.
For sure.
I wish she would do more comedy. I mean, Gretchen Wieners.
I was just thinking Gretchen Wieners is the ultimate comedic role.
Yes.
Girl's got comedic chops. She's not always
Like this sweet, like earnest.
or like the sullen Salinger child.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Francisco goes on to write, the other one I watched was Caught by Love. It was good. As a 90s kid, I've been a fan of Rachel since that iconic movie, She's All That. I think her work on Hallmark is great and she has awesome comedic timing. This one totally employed it as well as I've seen her in all the Christmas movies. Here, I will say I did enjoy the plot, but I'll say the end was well done. In most movies, you'll see one of the leads alter their life. Here, they don't. You don't see Annie give up her dreams of going to law school or Jake give up his business. And an ending like that is okay. Overall, kudos to both movies. I really liked Caught by Love as well.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was a solid movie. What I was thinking while listening to this while listening to you read Francisco's email.
Terribly, by the way.
No, that's not where I was going. I was going to say it's very interesting to me because I think there's a big split of our listeners who have no idea which one of us is which.
Oh, go ahead.
And so when he said, I agree with Wendy, I find it interesting when some people know who's who. And I think some people absolutely do not.
Oh, interesting.
I could be wrong. Weigh in, email us, hello@girlsgonehallmark.com. Do you know the difference? Does it matter to you? Like, do you care? I think we have similar-ish voices for people who don't know, but I also think we have different vibes.
Yeah. Megan's a 9 and I'm a 5, guys, if you know what that means.
Wendy's all in on her Enneagram number these days. We're going to start an Enneagram podcast.
Hey, coming soon. If you guys only knew. Yeah, that's funny. I wonder if people can tell the difference between our voices. I mean, I can.
Sure, me too.
Have people...
Here, I'll tell you this. The editing software that I use, it transcribes our podcast, and then you can edit like on the waveform and on the written transcription, and it will also identify speakers. I never do that because there's not a reason for me to do it with the way I use it, except on rare occasion I do it, and it does not always.
It gets it wrong?
It'll identify like 3 speakers.
Oh.
Or it doesn't, or sometimes it doesn't always know who's who, or it doesn't always separate.
They're like, who's that third person screeching?
So when it does that, the way it does identify speakers, it'll play a clip. And so I'll be like, that's me. So I'll type Megan, and then it'll play another clip and I'll type Wendy. And then as I'm scrolling through, it'll say it's Megan and it's not. I'm like, oh, well, it's not perfect, which is fine. It's an AI system that's doing that. But also then it makes me think, if it sounds that similar there, it doesn't matter. It was just a self-reflective thought I had.
The other thing too, I wonder if, I say some things that you wouldn't necessarily say or vice versa. And are you worried people are like, oh my God, Megan said XYZ and it was actually me?
No, are you worried about that?
No. I don't think we say anything that's like too
offensive.
I hope not.
Wendy's the one who likes basketball, y'all. And Megan likes the West Wing. I mean, I don't. I had the big annoying dog.
You're so funny. I just had like a thought. I wish we were like making vlogs and people could see like what our day looks like when we do this.
Well, let's do that.
Should we?
Do you want a recording vlog, folks? Weigh in.
Hello at girlsgonehallmark.com. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay,
we're doing it. We're doing it next week.
Someone recently just asked us if we have a YouTube channel, which we do. And I can't stop thinking about that.
Really?
Look, there's only so many hours in the day. And Megan's like, she's melting in her chair right now because Megan is tasked with the editing. She has all the editing skills. She edits our podcast. She has edited every video we've ever made, every clip that goes on Instagram.
Here's what I'm thinking.
And she's like, I don't want to do that.
No. That's actually not true. Sometimes these listener mailbag episodes just become like tangents. I hope you like that because that's what we're doing here. Here's what I am always up for the next big idea. Always. I do not have to be talked into it. I'm like, yes, that's going to be the next thing.
This is why we work well together, guys. Go ahead.
Because Wendy is an ideas person.
Thank you.
I am not an ideas person. Like, if I have a task, I can execute. I'm not really a big thinker.
Don't say.
I don't think that's
I'm not a big thinker.
No,
come on.
I think I'm smart. I don't think I generally have big ideas. I'm an executor. I think that's where my strength is.
Okay.
I'm not bashing myself at all. Everyone has strengths. However, I walk a line because especially coming out of Q4, you were like, we need a break. We need to focus. We need to streamline. We need balance in our lives.
I mean, that's my script every year after a Q4.
No, I understand. And I felt that way too. So I've been trying to be like, yeah, let's keep the schedule manageable. And then we keep being like, oh, we got this big idea and this big idea and this big idea. And let's make vlogs. Like, I'd love to make vlogs. I'd love to be doing video content. I'm recording you next week when you walk up to my house. So
excellent.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Ready?
I think that side of us appeals to people, and maybe I'm wrong.
We'll find out.
Like, I think I kind of want to see like the behind the scenes of like our
And I'm not
day.
talking about an hour-long vlog. I'm talking
No.
about like a TikTok Reels style vlog.
Yeah, let's do that.
Day in the life.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do it.
Because we can put those on YouTube too.
As shorts.
As shorts.
Yep. We have an email from Paula who sent in some ideas about some Hallmark adjacent review ideas for us to tackle. Paula says, I was thinking of some Netflix product you can influence. No,
Did we just like both cocked our head at influence?
I don't overestimate our reach here on Girls Gone Hallmark, but I'd love to. First up, Nona's. It stars Vince Vaughn, Linda Cardellini, and some great older stars. It came out last year. Very Hallmarky. I do believe you watched that one.
Seen it. Yep.
Yeah, I think that fits into the vein here. Nobody Wants This. Kristen Bell and Adam Brody, a sex podcaster and a rabbi date. It just writes itself 2 seasons.
Seen it.
I loved that series. I do think a lot of these, especially the series like this, is going to fall into the trap of like, you know, those came out, one came out about 6 months ago, this season before that, maybe a year and a half before that. And so who's watching and wanting that content? Mm-hmm. These are good recommendations for shows to watch, though. Somebody Somewhere on HBO. I love Somebody Somewhere on HBO. It would be really hard to talk about.
Oh, I think maybe I've seen like the first or second episode.
It's about a queer community in Kansas. It has an ensemble cast, and it's like nothing you've seen. You'll smile a lot. This could be a Hallmark movie in a more accepting world. I think that's right. It does have a Hallmark vibe. I bristle a little bit because this is a show that sometimes when people are like, I need are looking for shows that are easy to watch. And season 1 of this show does deal with, this is not Pop Culture Club, but anyway, it does deal with some heavier things. And for me, I still cannot find the words, but it's not a show that is, lighthearted. It's not,
okay.
like, in some ways it is, but it also, like, she's dealing with, like, a parent dealing with addiction, and there's some things going on, and it could be triggering for some people. Anyway, this is a lovely show. I don't know how I would talk about it because not much happens. It's that kind of show.
Yeah.
But it is a really lovely show. She said, do you consider theatrical releases? I have an oldie, Win a Date with Tad Hamilton. Pure Hallmark. Topher Grace and Jennifer Goodwin should be on Hallmark. I can't explain why I like this movie. Those are all good shows and movies. I would consider a theatrical release. I think in terms of getting people to listen, it would need to be a current theatrical release.
Yeah.
Although I do think it's easier to get people to watch an old movie than it is to get them to watch an entire series.
If there's access to it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
If it's streaming.
Yeah.
Would you like to hear a voicemail?
Sure.
We have a voicemail from Kathleen.
Hi, ladies. My name is Kathleen Arzias. I'm from New Jersey, and I wanted to let you know that I love your podcast. Found you guys a couple of years ago. I had been listening to Deck the Hallmark for years and heard you guys with them, and I'm glad that you're a part of the Bramble Fam family now. You ladies give a different take than the Deck the Hallmark guys. I love listening to both of you guys, and I love listening to all the different takes. You do a great job. I especially love this Ripple series, and I'm so glad you're covering it because they're not. So this is wonderful. I just wanted to draw the connection. I watched the whole series. I wanted to draw the connection that Aria drops that rock in the first episode, which hits Nate on the head, and that's what actually brings him to the hospital and how he gets his cancer diagnosis. So Aria really is responsible for him finding out about the cancer. And also later, she loses her ring. And then it ends up with his mom, and she gives it to Claire, his ex, and Claire sells that ring to get the money for his cancer treatment. Aria is very much a part of Nate's life. I just wanted to draw that connection. I think it's important. I love listening to you. I mean, I always agree, but I love listening. Take care.
Yeah, I think that's what we love about Ripple is all those connections that you can draw and looking back and seeing in some ways how these stories come full circle. Mm-hmm. And what's interesting about the Aria and Nate one is they don't seem to be the most connected on the show.
Right.
Like they have affection for each other, but they don't have a particularly close relationship the way some like Ellis and Walter or Walter and Tara.
Right.
Nate and Chris, right? But Aria has such a key piece of Nate's story.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a great show. I mean, you don't need to listen to all 8 of our recaps, but I would recommend giving that show a watch.
I really hope they get a season 2. We had messaged one of the EPs on it via Instagram, like, any word? And she just was like, not yet, fingers crossed. So I hope.
Me too.
Our next email is from Jenny, and it's regarding the recent movie Missing the Boat. She starts out by saying, thank you so much for your shout out to Minnesota. I got to Hallmark Plus to kind of brighten the very difficult time we are living in. And not only did I find your podcast, but found your support. You have no idea how much that means. Can we stop there for a second?
Sure.
Should we address some things here?
Sure. We have made no secret of who we are, how we think, the kind of content we want to consume, the kind of people we want to be. We understand that the podcast, both the content that we talk about and the podcast itself, is very escapist, and we're happy to be that. And every once in a while, it's kind of important for us to just remind people who we are. Mm-hmm. I also think that there are plenty of places for you to consume content. There are some people who would prefer that the creators that they follow not let pieces of themselves come through in that content. And you can feel that way, but I also think when we live in this world where so much of the content that we consume is free via social media or podcasts or whatever it may be, you have the choice to consume the content that you want to consume, and those creators have the choice to make those statements. It's important for us, I think, for our listeners to know who the people behind this podcast are. While 99% of the time we want this just to be fun and escapist and talking about Luke McFarlane taking his shirt off.
I agree. 100. Yes, that's where I stand too. Like, I love having a business partner that you and I are on the same page about this kind of stuff. If we would have recorded this yesterday, I think I would have been like real hot.
We talk about our Facebook group all the time. We have worked really hard to curate a group over there that is a place where have all the opinions you want about Hallmark movies, but there are certain types of speech that we're not going to tolerate. And we've made it very clear, and there are plenty of groups on the internet that will let you speak in horrible ways about other humans, and we're not one of them. And so we actually had an incident yesterday as we're recording this, and part of me wanted to come in real hot and fire off all the reasons why this wasn't going to work, and the other part of me was like, nope, that's just not the group we are, and so you're no longer in the group, the end. And we don't need to continue to make the statement over and over again to people who aren't interested in hearing it.
Yeah, exactly. Nicely said, Megan.
I hope. Let's hear from Jenny some more.
She goes on to say, I just watched Missing the Boat. Some of my notes, ... 2 age-appropriate romances, followed by 3 exclamation points. Love that. I love watching Christopher Palaha. He's a very fun actor to watch with his timing and subtle nuances and facial expressions. The scenery. Talk about Calgon, Take Me Away. I agree. I wish we could have like a Girls Gone Hallmark getaway to Southern Italy. Could you even imagine?
It's a dream.
She writes, I've been to Italy twice, but next time I have a new place to visit. But why didn't they put some weights in the hem of that poor woman's dress at the end of the movie? Did you see that? I did not recognize. Was it blowing up?
It was like a balloon, and I totally noticed it, and I didn't put it in my did you see that?
I feel like that's romantic.
It wasn't really blowing in the wind. It was just like a big like bloop.
Gotcha.
Look, she's adorable. It's fine, but it was distracting in a sweet moment, and I love her comment. It's such an easy costume fix. It's what the royals do.
I don't get it.
They put like weights in the hem of their dresses.
Oh, like in real life? So they don't blow up?
So Kate Middleton's dress isn't blowing up around her knees.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
She also goes on to say, I want a cornet and a gelato right now. I just want to go to Italy. Should I switch to Italian Duolingo?
Oh, I like that idea.
Also, I've been diving into a lot of Hallmark movies. Why does everyone have to have a dead parent? Can't they be a substantial person and make a connection with someone without the pity? Just an observation. It's a good one, Jenny.
Wait, is Jenny a new Hallmark? Oh, she just got Hallmark Plus. Well, welcome to the world of tropes over on Hallmark.
You're just getting started, Jenny.
Yeah, I mean, the dead parent is a recurring theme.
Lucky for you, we have over 500 free reviews for you to dive into as you watch along. What's the matter?
I don't know what a cornet is.
Oh.
A cornet is a traditional starched white headdress.
No. A cornetto is the quintessential Italian breakfast pastry and popular snack, often described as the Italian cousin to the French croissant.
Got it. Okay.
Also, I said croissant with a fake French accent the other day, and my daughter was like, don't do that.
Duolingo, baby.
I was like, I'm sorry, did I embarrass you?
It's called a croissant.
She got mad. You know,
She got mad.
15-year-olds,
Yeah, teenagers.
They know better. She's so much smarter than me, of course. All that life experience.
She go upstairs and close her door behind her.
Teenagers are funny.
I just want to add here, if you're listening, we have a interview with one Mr. Palaha
Coming next week.
coming up. We spent a good almost 2 hours with him today. Man, he gave some truths in this interview.
Yeah.
Some things that have stuck with
you?
me. Yeah.
Our business motto for 2026 came out of this interview.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna cross stitch it.
Oh,
I'm gonna
yeah.
needle point that.
On a pillow or on it, put it in a frame.
Do I need to go to Newport Needlepoint and get all the supplies? Kit my supplies.
Maybe. Maybe.
Will they custom paint a canvas for me?
I mean, I'm sure there's a DIY out there to how to do it yourself.
I don't want to do it myself. I mean, I want to needlepoint it myself, but I don't want to do the canvas myself.
Have the computer do it for you. The computer guys.
If anybody,
Somebody on Etsy, I'm sure, will do it for you.
know, I look, all TikTok serves me up needlepoint content all day long. It's as you know, because I know you bought needlepoint for a gift. It's a very expensive hobby.
Super expensive.
I'm like, how is this project $100?
I know. I know.
I don't like people are spending a fortune, but I kind of want to try one. I just need like a small one to test it out. So
Totally.
you want to go to Newport Needlepoint with me?
I do.
Okay. Mackie, she's part of the Megan and Wendy media team these days, y'all. She emailed us regarding missing the boat. She says, hi, Megan and Wendy. In line with your recent discussion about the waterfall in your review of Missing the Boat, Christopher mentioned this in an interview on Hallmark Mysteries and More, that it was indeed fake. Mackie's the best. She sent an actual timestamp to the interview. I went and watched it. And Chris is talking to Eric and he goes, yeah, I don't know. Could you tell it was fake? And I thought it was really funny because you and I both called it out in our...
Yeah.
Eric was so nice about it in the interview. But yeah, we could tell.
Yeah.
It didn't take away from the movie for me.
No, not at all.
Well, let's wrap it up with this final Instagram message. This is from Instagram follower Melissa, who says, since you guys are doing series and non-Hallmark stuff, it would be fun to hear your thoughts on Heated Rivalry if you have HBO Max. I have not watched that show. I've watched like the first 10 minutes, but it's a show you need to watch when you're home alone, not when you're like teenage children are walking through the room, in my opinion.
It's real sexy, guys.
Yeah, I'm just not sure how much like banging conversation we can have here on Girls Gone Hallmark.
Yeah. Do you hear how tongue-tied I am right now? Just the thought of it?
Like I'm interested in watching it. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited about the cult following it has developed. Mm-hmm. Like that's very exciting.
What else can we add to the conversation about it? I don't know.
I think that's true. Like I think there are Heated Rivalry podcasts out there that are doing the work better than we would.
But keep your suggestions coming.
I know. I feel like we shut down a lot of people. You got to really thread the needle with the content we're trying to figure out here. But thank you for your suggestions.
Definitely.
Thank you for all of your input on this listener mailbag episode. Thank you for going along with us on this ride this week. We will be back next week with a whole new slate of Hallmark reviews and interviews. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, friends, before we go, just a quick heads up. You're about to hear some ads. These little gems help us keep the show running and the Hallmark love flowing. So do with that info what you will. Grab a snack, hit the skip button, or maybe, just maybe, listen in and discover your new favorite product. Bye.